Yo!
Yayo Talk Show!
Dreamin'!
Don't give it up, Molly.
Dreamin'!
Don't give it up, Marco.
Dreamin'!
Don't give it up, Kdin.
Dreamin'!
Al's name didn't fit. They talk about the show, this group of four friends been going for 1,000,000 years, there's no end. Watching every arc and saga, no sleep. It's the king of anime, 1,000 episodes deep.
Yayo Talk Show!
Talking about One Piece.
It's the name of the podcast.
We're not on Vine. Yayo Talk Show. Talking about
One Piece.
What's up, wenches, privateers, the non-binary buccaneers? Welcome aboard the most chaotic One Piece podcast on the Grand Line Internet. Let's introduce you to the crew. First, Captain of the CrUno Pirates, Molly D. Simpy.
It's me. Hello.
Okay. Here
Trying to
this
bring
is
the energy.
It's already weird.
Trying to bring
Let's
the
keep
energy.
going.
I'm sorry.
Not any specific energy, just an energy.
That's true.
And an energy, please. Thank you.
It's like Pokemon in the trading card game. It's just normal energy.
I draw energy card.
Double normal energy.
double normal. Yeah, you got to get those double colorless energies. Let's go.
Wild Theorist Kdin Jensen.
They're not called, by the way. Hi. Hello. They're not called normal. They're called colorless.
Colorless.
Don't.
Wow.
How dare you? Hi.
Fake fan over here.
Oh, the
I spent
card
the
game?
last hour and a half screaming into a microphone, and now here we are.
For work or just for pleasure?
Oh no, it was for work, but afterwards I can be doing. You know what? Move along, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Laughborg, Al McClelland.
Couldn't they just call it clear? All right, moving on.
No, wait, what?
Are you kidding me?
Well, it's little clear rocks, right?
It's no. Are you kidding me?
On the Pokemon card game?
Are you calling out my Pokemon knowledge? Are we
Look
doing
what you
this?
did. Look what you did.
We can't do this.
Why not?
This is now the Pokemon episode.
Oh, we don't want to listen, if we want to do a Pokemon podcast, your girl is ready, but also that's a whole other couple hundreds of episodes.
Oh,
and
that's
various
so much
shows.
worse.
Of everyone here, I'm the Kdin of Pokemon, so it's gonna be. I know nothing.
What? Really? Oh, now we kind of have to. Oh, there's so much.
We're going to go back to
do.
that because there's a question that relates to that exact concept.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
I'm the internet's gentleman, the Mark B. Donica. The B stands for Bonesman. Welcome in, everybody. What? Is that a new line for you? Have you listened to the show
I don't know
before?
if I've ever heard that before. It just really got me.
It's been my line for like 3 episodes.
It's been longer than that. It's been longer than that. It has to have been longer than that. We've broken
Molly.
some arcs into double episodes, Mollicent.
Your tea.
I'm getting it started early.
I promise I pay
Oops.
attention. I pay attention.
Uh-huh.
It's been a hell of a couple of weeks for us here at the CrUno Pirates Incorporated, and as a result,
LLC.
there's a lot of LLC. That's
Why
more
would
appropriate.
pirates need a company? What is wrong?
A shipping
That's-
company.
Corporate pirates.
A corporate pirates. All right, well, that's been the Ask Yayo Talk Show episode.
What a great idea, Kdin. Why don't we do an Ask Yayo Talk Show episode? That sounds like a great idea. So, while the next couple of arcs are pretty intensive, and we're taking a little bit more time to sort of build up those shows and do the right research and rewatch and notice everything and reread and all of that sort of stuff. So, in all intents and purposes, this is a filler episode, but don't turn off the radio just yet. We decided to delve a little bit deeper into our fandom. Like with our episode 0, Molly, Al, and I, we had to sort of tiptoe around certain things because Kdin was only a certain way through the show. And now that she's halfway, we're only kind of half tiptoeing around certain things. And so we decided to open up the floor. And if you're just finding out about this now, you should really follow us on Twitter at Yayo Talk Show, because that's where we were asking for questions.
Yep.
But with this, we asked for a variety of whether it was One Piece or podcasting or life or whatever. So you can get to know us a little bit more when it comes to ourselves, our friendship, our cruise ship, and our cruise ship, and our One Piece fandom. So before we get started, I'm going to ask the question that Kdin hates getting asked, at least these past couple of episodes, of what episode are you on, Kdin?
I've been too busy recording for things
Hell
to
yeah.
watch things. So let me just say I have made zero progress.
Oh.
But all the money.
But also keep your ears open because you'll be hearing me in things.
Yeah.
And
I
arguably
can't
that's more important.
Yeah, I've been working a lot lately, so there really I haven't had any time, and we're closing up on the end of the year, which means that there's less and less time. I feel like
Yeah.
the moment it's the end of October. This is our Halloween episode. This is our Halloween episode. I'm sure that'll come up in the questions.
Yes, we did get a couple of Halloween related questions.
I saw that. Spoilers.
But like I feel like the end of October, like as soon as the end of October always goes by so fast. But like then
Yeah.
the November is just like November, December, Happy New
Yeah.
Year. It's just like okay, the next 2 months are going to evaporate.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have some time. I think middle of November where I can or after the middle of November where I can actually sit down and do some serious binging again. But I'm going to start casually watching an episode or two a day, every day again, starting this week. So I'm happy to get back into it. I've been missing One Piece. I've been watching a bunch of other things. I watched Squid Game.
That will come up as well.
There you go. I'm
That's
sure.
not
I'm
anime.
I
Says
know,
you.
but like the dub is very good. I know people like were saying this and that and the other thing. I will defend the Squid Game dub with my entire life.
Whoa.
For a million different reasons. Please, and there's some stuff that we can get into some like abstracty questions.
Oh, sure.
Like that'll come from that stuff later on, but. Mark, you want to get us back on track, please?
I do. I want to start with, I wanted to thank everybody who left us some questions. We're not answering all of the ones that were asked because of various things. In particular, there was one asked by Gemini Roche and Roroni 1029, which we appreciate. Thank you for asking them. But some of the contents are a little bit farther than where Kdin is right now in the show, or in the sense where that question can have a much more rich answer as opposed to where the three of us are versus where she is. So we'll circle back to it if/when we do another Ask episode. So
We will.
We're gonna keep your
Spoilers,
questions.
it'll happen again. I guarantee you.
They would never do a filler episode twice.
Oh no. Oh, Neptune.
Hey, listen.
Spoilers,
this is the
did.
This is the Ask episode. Listen, this is the beach episode next time. Hot Springs. All right.
Beach episode?
Dude,
This is
let's
the beach
go.
episode next time. Hot Springs episode.
Ooh, dead art.
Is there a question about me jumping a shark?
Hold on. Scrolling.
Shark bait. Ooh ha ha.
Oh, I took it off of the list for plot reasons. But moving on to our first question from Dr. Hairs on Twitter, which was, can we get a little backstory of how y'all met? And there's a common sort of thread here, but I figure there's a way to tell this kind of abruptly and quick and easy. Through work. Anyway, moving on.
No, what you can't
Two words. It's rooster
Cockbite.
teeth.
Oh.
Okay?
Yes.
You
Rooster
guys
teeth.
can't just soundbite our entire origin story.
We
I
just
mean-
did.
The real story is like Al's been working for Rooster Teeth for a while, and so have I. We've existed around each other. Molly dipped into working for Rooster Teeth for a little bit as well, and I found Molly through the Oscar Protection Squad, which we are both huge members of, and Mark's been in and out of the Rooster Teeth verse. How do we put that?
That's a good way to put it.
The RTCU.
The
I think RTCU, and I originally y'all were planning to have a game night, and you invited one of my favorite people in the world, Eddie Rivas.
God bless.
And Eddie
Bless.
just so happened to not be available that night. And then Molly was just like, well, let's ask Kdin. Maybe
She
I
was
can
real
slide
shy
into
about
Kdin's DMs. And
I
then
did.
Molly slid into my DMs. It's like, did you want to play Uno with us on Friday? And I'm just like, did I get asked to do something that doesn't involve work? Yeah, that sounds
And
really
then
fun.
did we subsequently
Okay.
turn it into work? I think so.
Look, you'll notice a trend with everything that I do in my entire life. If I like it enough, somehow I'll turn it into work, accidentally or on purpose. And here we are.
I mean, yeah, we kind of did, right? Like we said, we were casually playing games throughout the panini, and then
y'all didn't know I was
the
watching
Panera
One
Bread?
Piece at all until
No,
we
we did.
Well, I mean, like, you didn't know that I was really like watching One Piece. And that first Uno game where we were just kind of like shooting the shit and being like super casual about it, and like we got onto the topic of One Piece because we were talking about something else, and I started like, I was like, well, don't spoil it for me because I'm only at this, and it's like, I think this might happen, and I started talking, and then I heard.
that was definitely me.
Is something happening? And it's like, no, keep talking.
Yeah, that was kind of it though. You're like, here's what I think might happen based on like the information I've already gotten, and then we just in that night were like, we can make a show out of this, but like you have to stop talking right now because like we need to record this.
I can only sweat so much.
It was like, oh, this is wild. We have to record this for posterity. Screw it. Let's make a show out of it. Because of how buck wild and arguably very accurate and increasingly accurate some of your
Sorry.
predictions had been of just like,
You're not sorry.
No, I'm not. But I do feel like I should apologize sometimes.
Say it as a courtesy.
it's amazing to have somebody that's so ingrained in this sort of writing style in this world. I mean, you know, One Piece, because it's been around so long, so inspired all of these other creators since, and so you can see it's like where that inspiration comes from. And so when you go back to the alpha material, that first proto material, be like, oh, I've seen, like, without saying it, I've seen this before. I know exactly where this is going to go, and we made a show about it.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of like it's something, and let's Halloween it up a little bit. It's why, and I've been streaming a lot of like Resident Evil and stuff, and I was been like explaining to people, it's like, this is how you build something that's horror and suspense. Like, as you notice, I've been playing for about 15 minutes. We haven't seen another enemy in a while. I guarantee you, you know, now that we've entered a new room, the first thing that we're going to encounter is something that's one, brand new, and two, much more intimidating, and yada yada, here it is. Now there's the scary thing. It doesn't have to be a lot of anything. It's just something new that you weren't expecting. And, you know, it's breaking
And
all
it's
those
chewing
things
off
down.
my arms.
And it's basically, I mean, you know, boiling things down to their basics isn't very hard as far as like storytelling. There's a purpose and a rhyme and a reason for each genre of things. And One Piece is shonen, and it wants to tell a particular type of story, and it has an end goal and it has a purpose. So if you follow the beats, and if you've, you know, followed shonen in any capacity, whether it be, you know, Dragon Ball or My Hero or Shaman King or anything like that,
Bro,
you can kind of
Shaman
piece
King.
things together in one way or another and follow the beats. Yes, there's going to be twists and turns that you won't necessarily expect, but they will follow a rhyme. Everything kind of like, you know, has a rhythm to it for storytelling. And there's been some stuff that like One Piece is like, well, bet you didn't think about this. And I'm just like, actually, no, I didn't. And that's pretty cool. But I predicted all the
Oda
stuff that you
wink.
definitely didn't think I would predict because
that's
you
for
were
sure.
being too damn cheeky about this one thing. It's like, you'll never figure this one thing out. I was like, well, I have the bag of other things I figured out One Piece, so nice try. But
Oh, you're right.
it's like story analysis stuff, and it's really fun. It's one of the things that I do kind of casually while I'm watching something. My partner, Quinn, gets really mad at me not legitimately, but like, just like, why do you got to keep doing this? We watch a horror movie. I pause at 15 minutes in, and I'm like, here's how this movie's gonna go. Here's how it's gonna
Stand
end.
up with a Sherlock hat on.
Literally, I will do that. It's like, here's the new horror movie. 15 minutes in, I will pause it, and I will say, can I do this? And if they give me the thumbs up, I do it. And I'm just like, okay, here's where this story's gonna go. Here's what's gonna happen. Here's what the actual like horror elements are going to be. Here is what, you know, the villain or the antagonist is going to be, and here's what the message is going to be. And it's either going to be very obvious or it's going to be a little bit more abstract. Then we watch the rest of the movie, and then Quinn gets progressively more upset as the movie goes on because I keep being more and more correct as the movie goes on. And sometimes it's just like, sometimes I'll just be like, we should probably stop watching this movie now because we're both going to be really upset because this ending's going to suck. And we get to the end of the movie. It's like, this ending fucking sucked.
That's how we met.
That's exactly how we met. Actually, funny you say that. Speaking of horror movies, I'll never forget. So, like, I used to do press for a lot of different animated shows, including RT content, and that's initially how I met Molly and Al. Mm-hmm. And I will never forget actually meeting Al for the first time at one of the conventions. I pulled up the texts. Hey, you at Camp? Yes. You tell me your location. To which I respond, I'll find you. And then I was like, you in the red shirt? And then I'll never forget sending that, looking back up at you, and then just seeing your head shoot up and dart around like you're being
Oh, that's cute.
That's Buggy Boy energy.
Perfect.
That is Buggy Boy energy.
They're on to me.
And oddly enough, Kdin also answered a question from Frigga Loves You, which was what made Joe want to start doing a One Piece podcast, which is great. We're ahead of the game.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's it.
It's just
entirely.
I mean, it was just fun. I mean, like, they knew more about this than I did, and it's cool to like kind of be the person who doesn't know something in the room, and like, especially like legacy content. Like, again, like, there's that story, like, there's the whole thing is like, Al doesn't know Pokemon. It's like, how do you not know Pokemon? It's like, that's the start of a question. And, you know, it spirals from there. Accidentally, I think, is how everything kind of came together. And to kind of like tie this into a weird way, we all kind of found each other because of a fandom. You know, it's like we're all fans of Rooster Teeth. You know, some of us work there currently, but like we're all fans of it, and we found each other through a fandom, and like that energy kind of never goes away. I know some people are just like, oh yeah, I'm 14 right now, and I'm in the My Hero fandom, and I'm super excited, blah, blah, blah. I guarantee you, if you will carry that energy throughout your entire life. It's like, oh, I'm a big fan of this, and then you meet new people through the fun thing, and then becomes a bigger thing, and it never stops. That energy almost never goes away, so long as you keep it alive.
I mean, it's been what, 22, 23 years of One Piece, and like we joked about it early on, and we always made sure to sort of like circle back to it. But if it weren't for the 4Kids dub of One Piece, I never would have found the true Holy Grail, which is the actual show.
You move the dub out of the way to get to what you actually needed to get at.
Listen, the actual Funimation dub is fantastic. That 4Kids dub, ooh.
Sorry, that's what I meant. You
No comment.
That's rough, buddy.
You pushed the 4Kids dub out of the way. I should have clarified. You pushed them out of the way to get behind them, which is the better content. That is One Piece.
That intro's fire. That intro's fire, though.
Yeah, you gotta recognize. You know, player recognizes player. Is that it?
Game recognizes game.
Game. There it is. I'm a gamer.
You played yourself.
Molly is simultaneously, and this is what I love about Molly's energy, because it's very different than like almost anybody I know. Molly is simultaneously like, yo, I'm gonna hang out because I'm the youngest person in the group. I'm close to Gen Z. I'm gonna be closer to this. But then also I am like major grandpa energy. So Molly is on the two sides of things. Meanwhile, the rest of us are like right in the middle. It's like, Molly, how do you not know either of these things? Like, how could you not?
Hello, fellow children.
Are y'all on the Tic Tac?
I love Tic Tacs.
I love orange
Well,
Tic
that's
Tacs.
original.
You like orange Tic Tacs?
I mean, not as a mint, but as candy.
Why?
I don't know.
Listen, if it's in front of me, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. You don't want to do that.
It's in front of me.
Something that we didn't talk about on the show, and I don't know if anybody's listened to it, the OG himself, Sean Conrad, who did the pirate rap, did a part 2.
Yo.
What?
Like, did
that
he like include the rest
Robin,
of the crew?
Frank, yep.
Oh, no.
Let me,
Super
but I need to
cool.
double check. Okay, don't look for it. Don't look
Okay.
for it.
We
because
can't listen to it yet, I'm sure, right?
We cannot. There are some additional crewmates that
It's
Caden's
up
not
to
met
date?
yet.
Okay,
It's up to date.
Up to date.
It is
Okay.
up to date.
That's so cool, though. I didn't know that.
It was like a month or so ago. I think it happened like either while we were recording our long break stuff or during the long break.
That's
and people were like,
awesome.
"Oh, are you going to talk about this?" And after seeing it, I was like, "No, we cannot. We absolutely
Not yet.
absolutely cannot."
Yet.
Not
No,
yet.
yeah.
Our long break, not our. Okay, not our long. I got you.
Hour.
Eject.
Yeah, as in the
Hour long.
O-U-R, hour, not
Okay.
an hour.
Going along with sort of bringing up 4 kids, I imagine the answer is similar for Alan Molly, but going along with Frigga Loves You asking more questions, which was what made you decide to start watching / reading One Piece?
Do you want to go first, Al?
Sure. I was told. One of my friends was like, "You need to watch this."
Somebody once told you
Yes,
Oh,
somebody once told
somebody?
me,
that One Piece was gonna roll you?
and it sure
Whoa.
did, fam. It sure did.
Y'all got rolled.
But now I'm here.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
So do you remember where it was when you started watching? Like what the current was?
God, I guess it was. They were in. It was in college, and I think they were about to go to Djibouti.
Djibouti.
But we started earlier than that.
That sounds about right.
I started reading One Piece because if anybody remembers the 2000s, I know everybody in the room here does. I'm not sure if you at home know, but
I try not to, but
there was
yes.
this like fad that they would do like every 2 years would be this new thing we would all get obsessed with, like vampires or pirates. And like when One Piece came to America via manga, like it was like the height of like pirate craze, like Pirates of the Caribbean, like everybody was so hyped for those movies and stuff. And little baby Molly was all like up in that what's his name? Will Turner,
Orlando
Legolas.
Bloom.
I clearly love him still.
Orlando Bloom.
Oh, yeah, that's the guy. I was like all up in obsessed with that. So I just like rolled into the local what was it? Walden's Books.
I thought I was gonna say Borders.
Holy shit! What?
Yeah, do you remember?
Where are we?
Do you remember Walden's Books was like a ripoff of, or it was like a sub branch of Borders? Little baby Molly rolling in and checking what kind of manga they got, and they had this new thing called One Piece, and it was two of my favorite things, like anime, manga / pirates. And it was also the era of what is better, Naruto, One Piece, or Bleach. So it was like soul reaping ninjas or pirates. And I was like, dude, I'm pirates for life. I'm gonna triple down on pirates.
Pirate's Life for you.
Yeah, man. Got
You
him.
also started the earliest of all of us, I think, right? But as far as the One Piece hype train.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think I read the first chapter in Shonen Jump. Shonen
sorry?
Jump.
Jonin Shump?
Shonen Shump.
Jonin Shump?
What year is it?
Oh my
Wow. Welcome to Wednesday, everybody. My lovely dears and
Densway.
darlings, welcome to Wednesday.
God. Densway.
Guess what, everybody? That's like, I want to introduce everybody to Molly's new original character, Do Not Steal. Jonin Shump.
Oh, no, it's bad.
He wears a beanie, and he's got a cool backpack. He has a skateboard. He doesn't know how to ride it.
Is he Soul?
Oh, my God. You guys,
Lunky D. Moofy.
Lunky.
Lunky D. Moofy.
Original character, do not steal. Also, quick segue. We
He's
can
a
cut this
bendy
later
man.
if we need to. Do you guys remember that old French infomercial about was it
Muzzy.
Muzzy?
Muzzy.
Muzzy. Yeah,
Je
that's
suis
my
la jeune
that's my OC.
Muzzy's your OC.
Do not steal.
Hey, do you remember this?
We're
Muzzy?
leaving it in.
No, we're
idea.
leaving it in. Muzzy was your. You saw Muzzy and you're just like, I'm gonna take the. You stole.
Je
You
suis
stole.
la jeune fille.
I mean,
Do I get 100 years in jail, Kdin? 100 years.
you don't. Did you? You just
You-
said you stole a character.
No, yeah, we're talking about my OC, my One Piece OC, and you guys said
Is Muzzy?
yeah,
Is Muzzy your One Piece OC is Muzzy?
Lunky D Muzzy. Anyway, this is it, fam. This is it.
This is
I
the
don't.
show.
Wow, I
Yo,
can't
we're gonna
wait.
break this episode into 2
Wednesday
weeks.
night.
No, please.
Watching you.
All right, keep
So,
going.
Kdin, what was the thing that made you want to tackle the challenge? I think we've talked about it before, but
We have
still.
kind of talked about it a little bit, but realistically, I was just like, now's about
Why?
time.
Yeah.
Literally, it
How
was
about
just
now?
like, it was like people were talking about it again, and like I saw people talking passionately about like, I've been following One Piece for a while, and I really liked it, and then I saw some people just like, I finally picked up One Piece, and I totally understand, and I'm just like, okay. There's some people talking about this stuff, and there's some, like, they're speaking highly of it in their own regard, and they're talking about what they like about it, instead of saying things like, everybody needs to, it's like, the moment somebody says, everybody needs to see this, I'm just like, first of all, I don't care. Second of all, don't tell me what to do. And third of all, I'm not going to do it now. Don't tell me what to do. I have a
Same.
problem with it. In case anybody's wondering, and I've said this before on the podcast, I may or may not have a problem with authority. So when you tell me to do something, my first reaction is to go, nah.
Even
no.
if they say please.
Well, the thing is like asking and then telling are two different things. If
You're
I'm
right.
asked something, it's like, hey, could you please do this? And I'm just like, yeah, of course. I'll always be just like, yeah, no, that's yeah, of course. But if you tell me to do something, I'll be like, who are you? What are you, a cop?
What are you, a cop?
I don't gotta do nothing. I'm not gonna do
stand
nothing.
like a cop.
What are you, a
look-
Marine?
You look like a cop. Do never no cop.
A map. That's a good reason to get into One Piece.
Legitimately, it was just like people were talking about it again, and it was like people were like, it's like we're in quarantine. What else are we gonna do? And I'm just like, that's not a bad thought. And I was kind of just like, what can I just put on in the background and just kind of go without like having anything to like really think about too much? And it was just like, well, One Piece sounds fun. Like I've done Dragon Ball, I've done Naruto, I've done Bleach. One Piece is the only like of the classic shonen big pinnacles that I hadn't really tackled. I'm like, that seems like a good time. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did because I turned it on and I'm just like, oh, this is fun. Oh, this is fun.
Got
this is
another
fun.
one.
And then my brain's just like,
It starts to get really complicated, and then all this lore. And if you start to describe it to somebody else, you realize how crazy you sound.
it was just one of those things where it's just like, would you like to hyperfixate? And I'm just like, well, I don't really. We have selected yes. It's like, who's we? Wait, where was the we? I didn't sign any. We are now hyperfixating. Ah, crap.
Got
And then
another
here I
one.
am.
Who's hyperfixating? We are.
Yeah.
That would be us.
Us.
That was a transition to go to a question. What is your favorite One Piece opening?
Oh.
Well, I mean,
We are.
We are. It's we are.
Yeah.
We are.
We are.
Asked and answered.
But I have to get we go is something that wakes me up in the morning. It's like if I have to get up early, I have to go somewhere.
Yeah, because we gotta go rather than
exactly.
we are. Listen, we go and then hey, we are. You do one then the other.
Yeah, I'd say we are, and then the class. I mean, we named our show after it, but the yeah,
Yo.
yeah, the 4 kids.
Yo, it's so
Classic.
good. I can't wait for We Went or We Were.
We were.
That's gonna be for the final arc. There is
Final
another
arc's
Wii song
hilarious.
actually. Like I started reading reading again.
Just a little one.
I was like we.
We Can is the other
Oh.
one. I don't know what arc it's from, but it's definitely way past where Kdin is.
We
Looking-
may.
That's another one.
Ooh.
Is it within like the last like 4 years when they did that duet with Obama? Is that what that was?
I'm sorry.
But,
What?
well,
We
what?
Can? We
Oh,
Can is the
God
song
damn it.
title?
That was
God.
Molly.
Yeah,
God.
got
Molly.
him.
That was
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating when I say this. That was phenomenal.
I'm doing it, you guys. I'm doing it.
That
We
was
quit.
awesome.
It's gonna be.
That's our second opening theme. We quit.
We quit.
The last one's gonna be we in parentheses because I'll be alone.
So like
The royal way. The lonely way.
the title is gonna zoom in on the we and the W's gonna flip around to just me.
Me. Oh
Me go.
no. Oh, me. Go.
Me can.
Me.
Me are.
This is fun.
So going off of that, like I think some of the things that could really sell other anime are the openings of this song's super hype, here's all this sweet action. Whether it was the opening or whatever, what was the show or book, I should say, that made you want to keep watching anime? So like I think we have a fairly similar story of like, I mean, Toonami was an awakening for so many
Definitely.
people in our generation, but like what was the show that made you go, oh, I am watching this art style from here on out?
Can I start? Because I think I have a
Yeah.
different one.
Sure.
My television time was quite limited. Back when I was young, there was a time that I was allotted to play video games and I was allotted to watch TV. It's why I spent a lot of time reading manga instead, because technically, book. So
Loophole.
Got him. So there was
Problem
a
with
time.
authority.
There was yeah, you're not wrong, because I mean that's kind of where this story goes. 4 a.m. On Telemundo, they would play the Hispanic dub of Dragon Ball Z.
Bro.
And I knew just enough Spanish to understand what was happening. Not fully, because there was definitely some things that like kind of like got lost in translation in my brain, but like because yeah, blah blah blah, whatever. I went to high school when I graduated college at 14. Whatever, who cares?
Big woof. She's smart.
I spent a lot of time
Like you do.
learning stuff. So I spent a lot of time learning Spanish and so on and so forth. So I understood it, and nobody was awake during that time. So I'd wake up and I'd watch the Spanish dub of Dragon Ball Z, and I'm just like, this is the coolest thing ever. And I think that was like my first, like, I really am into anime, because I'm legitimately watching this show from Japan in Spanish that I can only half understand at 4 or 5 in the morning just so I can experience this. This might be a thing for me.
Yeah.
This might be a thing for me.
I have
That said,
awoken
like-
something.
Like, that said, like, I had been reading manga for a while. Like, Ranma was kind of like my big gateway. Rumiko Takahashi being like a huge thing. I think feel like everybody's like,
love.
she's a new series that started getting published in English end of September, by the way, Mollicent, if you're looking for something new. If you're in the vein of liking that classic Inuyasha vibe, pick it up.
Oh,
It's
no.
probably exactly what you want. It's real good. It's real fun.
Not Mao, is it?
It is Mao.
Oh, well, it's been out for a while.
No, it hasn't been out in English.
In
It came out.
Japan.
Yes, but it came out in English for the first time 2021 September, actually almost exactly a month ago. 28th of September, I believe, was the publication date. please support the actual printing in English.
Yep.
Please.
I love
That's how we get
Rumiko.
things.
Rumiko,
But
I just real quick. I really.
she's amazing. Like,
love her so much. Love her.
she like. Listen,
Hugely influential on me.
super. I mean, listen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say the obvious thing. Oh no, Ranma fell into the drowned girl pond. What a tragedy! What a horrible.
Oh,
Hope this doesn't
no.
awaken anything in me. And how? Well, here we are.
Many other people.
Yep. Welcome to. If you grew up with Ranma and you were wondering why does Ranma complain about this, you might be trans or non-binary. Congratulations. And if you haven't thought about it, congratulations. I might just have cracked your egg. Have a wonderful rest of your day thinking about that, and
Man.
circle back to me later.
Wednesday energy.
We egg cracking out here.
We cracking eggs, baby.
cracking f***ing eggs.
Making an omelet.
What about you, Al? What was your
I mean,
first?
I definitely, like, first taste of anime was, like, Dragon Ball Z, but I'd always been a huge fan of sci-fi, and, like, Western stuff does sci-fi kind of the same, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Biker Mice from Mars, Street Sharks. It's like,
Street Sharks.
Street Sharks?
it was good. yes.
Awesome.
The Orca? Come on. I loved him. He was so cool. Anyway,
This is
sorry.
the part of the episode where I jumped the shark. By the way,
Oh,
Hey.
you did it.
there I go.
I told you there were spoilers.
But, like, Toonami brought Outlaw Star, Trigun, and Cowboy Bebop, which are, like,
Outlaw Star!
it's like three very different flavors of sci-fi that, like I wanted more of it, and so I was just looking for more things that could hit that itch. Scratch that itch? Scratch the itch.
that itch.
Hit it.
Punch the
Scratch
itch.
it. Bop it.
Aggressively smash the itch.
Destroy.
Destroy the
Just
itch.
don't forget to like and itch that button.
Oh my god.
It's a similar. I'm a similar vein with you, Al, in the sense of like, yeah, action and like a lot of the stuff is like shonen protagonisty. Now looking back at it, and I guess the thing that made me acknowledge like, oh, this is Japanese animation. This is from Japan. Was like something that was so. And this is like a long way into like I watched a whole bunch of stuff like going back to those Toonami days and all the way through Saturday morning after school stuff, but I think it was Samurai Champloo was the
Samurai
one where it
Champloo.
was feudal era Japan, the Nujabes soundtrack, and I was just like
You're right,
everything
though.
flowed super, like an amazing dub, and I was just like, okay. This is the one where it's like a whole bunch of different concepts coming together in such an amazing way. Actually, I would double that up with that and oh god, what was it called? It was only 6 episodes long and it was on Adult Swim. Oh
Fooly
god. Fooly Cooly. That was the one where I was
there
like,
it is.
this is weird. It was like I think the Adult Swim era of anime where I was like, I really like this form, despite like the ridiculous amount of things that everybody says is their favorite thing. Like, me and my group of friends were like played mobile like Gundam Wing pilots back in like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, where we would all like be one of the pilots and stuff like that. But it was still a thing of like, oh well, this is a cartoon, and not necessarily the acknowledgement of this is a product from Japan. It's weird, overly complicated answer, but like I think we're in the generation where it just always has been, and that kind of awakening isn't. I don't know if it's something that's as apparent because it's now just ingrained in the world culture. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
Growing up, liking all that stuff kind of made you an outcast, and now it's mainstream. Like, it's very much
It's wild to think about how
Yes.
crazy that is.
Can I ruin your life a little bit though, Mark?
I mean,
What?
okay, as long as it's only Mark.
It depends.
I gotta ruin Mark's life a little bit. So you and Molly did a podcast a while ago, in case anybody's curious, about Kingdom Hearts.
Don't.
We
First
did?
First of all,
Nobody listened, so it didn't happen.
you didn't finish it.
We
You didn't
did.
finish it. No,
We
there's
did.
new content.
We finished
New
the,
contente.
we finished
Memory
the
of
game.
Melody. There's more stuff. It still
No,
happens.
it isn't.
Slap your hands
You
at
got to
me.
bring it back.
Parts
Um,
3 podcast.
So
Yeah.
I would like to say this. So you said Samurai Champloo had an amazing dub and everything like that. Saix, my favorite character in Kingdom Hearts, is also one of the main characters.
Jin.
Yeah, Jin. It's
Yeah.
Kirk Thornton. same,
Nice.
same person.
How's that gonna ruin my life?
Because now just you will only think
He's
of
after
Kingdom
you
Hearts
now.
every time you think of Samurai Champloo.
Au
now.
contraire. Anytime I think of Saix, I think of Jin.
Okay. Okay. Well, they also
Did
now
he
works in
ruin your
reverse.
world, Kdin?
Oh, am I
I mean,
shattering your reality?
Just did the reverse card, and we're not even playing Uno.
Yeah, that's
Got
true.
him.
I'll make mine as quick as possible, just so we can get through. So we can we're going a little long here.
Whatever.
You know.
It's fine. It's whatever. We're good.
I promise I'm not like this for every single thing that you guys hear me talk about, where I'm like, I was there when One Piece was conceived. But my like first experience, see, this is where the like young and old thing comes in, where you guys remember I'm like olden and wizened and whatever. No, my like first experience with anime was when I was 2, when my sweet mama was going through the old Walmart and was digging through an old VHS bin, trying to find something good for my brother and I to watch. She unearthed this little movie called My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah.
And immediately, I was immediately obsessed. My brother and I are both incredibly obsessed. We actually wore out that VHS tape and had to buy a new one. And I have like one of the first DVDs ever printed of the English dub with the before like Disney redubbed it.
Humble brag.
Yeah, sorry. It's just like it's really like beloved to me, and one of those great 90s moments was I was 2 when I was watching this movie, and that scene where the Totoro knocks all the rain off the tree and he like yells. I was like, I would go running from the room screaming because it was so scary. And then like maybe like 5 minutes later, I would come like crawling back into the room to finish the movie. But like when stay-at-home mom and 2 toddlers, you know, watch that movie 10 times a day, every day of the week for months on end, something's got to give. So back in the day, on the back of VHS like containers, sometimes they would have the like, if you send us $20 in the mail, maybe in 4 to 6 weeks we will send you something back. And on the back of the VHS tape was a like, send us money and we'll send you a little Totoro doll. And so my mom sent it in like scheming wise and had to like sit through like a month plus of me every like multiple times a day screaming and running out of the room. And then like one day this like little Totoro doll comes in the mail and my mom's like, Molly, Totoro sent you this doll. He wants you to be friends. Like he feels bad that you get scared. Like he wants you to be your friend. And then from
so cute though.
that moment on, like I was not scared of Totoro anymore. But yeah, really young age.
That's 4-dimensional chess by your.
Yeah, I know. She's like, yeah.
That's it. Totoro's in that movie for like 10 minutes. Catbus is like the star.
Dude,
of
he's
that
he's the hero for sure.
True
But I
hero.
have an older cousin who was very much into anime. I would pen pal with her, and she made sure, like even before like a lot of stuff was on TV, that I was seeing the good stuff, like Ray Earth and Utena.
Oh,
She would-
Grey Earth.
She would mail me VHSs and DVDs and like let me watch them all, and I would send them back, and then we would have like conversations about what episode of Sailor Moon was on TV. And like she would draw me, she actually got me into art too. She would draw me Sailor Scouts, and then I would trace her drawings and pass them off as my own.
That's so cool.
I drew this.
Really cute. By the way, for the younger audience, a pen pal is where
The save
Mail.
icon is actually a floppy disk.
no,
The
I'm
US
not even gonna. They know what a
USPS.
pen pal is. They know what a physical letter is.
Also,
What do you
don't
mean?
Google stuff for people.
Yeah, you're right.
Make them do the work.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing the work, Any manga or anime recommendations for the viewers out there aside from One Piece? If you go watch One Piece, the beginning part of it
Give me
on
2 minutes. I'll be
Funimation.
right back. I'm gonna go grab some. No, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab
Kate,
some.
I'm gonna say two things.
You guys go ahead and talk. I'll be
Wow, she's got one she specifically wants to call out, but
100%. But it's
I
also
mean, in
like
that-
this is an audio format podcast. What is she getting to show?
I don't
off?
know, but I do love that you can hear her leave the booth. Yeah, I don't know. My recommendations and like my favorites, I guess. Like, I mean, I already named off a bunch of classics, but if you enjoy the similar vibes of One Piece, Ranma, kind of similar in terms of action. Like, it's like a goofy plot, right? But it's, I don't know. I really enjoy everything that Rumiko Takahashi does. Like Ranma, Inuyasha. She has a really good balance, and she's also like old school. So she did the old like 80s slapstick like manga. Like there's a lot more jokes and more like visual humor in Ranma, and then she kind of went serious with Inuyasha. So I'd recommend those, I suppose. If you're like starting fresh.
Kagome!
Inuyasha!
Kagome!
It works better in the manga format. I'll give her that.
I thought you were
I'm
gonna say.
back.
I thought you were gonna say it works better at conventions because, like, when I would first go to goddamn Comic-Con, I would see that and just be like, "Oh, just kill me!" Like, I'm a nerd, but oh my god.
If you're lost in the grocery store, Mark.
Oh, I hope that's not how you communicate
That's how
with
you
your
find
partner.
your partner. No, that's how you find your partner. 100%. 100%. If I ever lose Quinn in the grocery store, be like, Kagome!
Listen, I'm hearing it
I'm literally
works.
right behind you, grabbing beans.
It's just more data that supports Molly's argument.
Yeah, thank
very
you for
true.
that.
It's 100%. I just grabbed a shelf.
Kdin, did you bring?
Oh,
something
did
to
you?
show?
I'm
Because
gonna-
we're only allowed to talk about two.
I'm gonna
grabbed the
dart in
shelf.
first and
Go, please.
talk about Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer.
Yeah, Demon Slayer is really good.
It's really, really good. It's similar to One Piece in that it has high contrast between like moments of joy and fun and then moments of like pure terror.
It's got low lows, dude.
And yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Got
Hey,
him.
if you go see Mugen Train, tissues, bring them.
Uh-huh.
And
Don't.
they're
Yep.
not happy. They're not happy tissues. They're sad tissues.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Getting Sarah
clarifying.
Marshall reference?
It is a ceremony.
Forget
Wow.
Sarah Marshall's one of my favorite anime.
Oh
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's one of my favorite jokes ever. It's like, are those sad tissues or happy tissues? So good. That movie's terribly funny. And
So
really
Demon
bad,
Slayer,
really good.
do you got one more, Al?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I need to think. I don't have a shelf at my disposal, so I gotta think of a good one.
Mark, do you wanna go before Kdin just lists them off?
Well, like I go through cycles of like watching stuff hardcore and getting into stuff and falling out and things like that. I traveled recently, so I usually like just download a bunch of stuff onto the phone to watch. So whether you read it or watch it, I think Way of the House Husband is
Yeah.
Way of the House
100
Husband is real good.
required viewing. I was
Mm-hmm.
trying not to die of laughter on an airplane.
Very good.
So good. And one that I think is very cute and very wholesome that I just watched all the way through. And it ended in a weird note, but because I was a big fan of the like arcade scene. High Score Girl was.
High Score Girl was good
was
too.
cute. It's
Yeah.
good and cute.
Goyle.
And like the fact that they got to use so much of like actual arcade history instead of like it's Liu from Avenue
Yeah,
Fighter.
no,
They actually got to use real stuff and real art assets. So would recommend that. It's only 2 seasons. I think it's only like 28, 32 episodes. So you can watch both of those super quick if you want to.
Also, I just real quick, Kdin, while you're gone, I recommended like all of Rumiko Takahashi's stuff. But,
Oh yeah, Ranma's
the
real
most-
good.
the most-
I liked Rene too, and
yeah.
and Mason Kako and
the-
blah blah blah.
The most like recent anime I watched though that I do want to recommend is Laid Back Camp. It was so
Judo Camp
awesome.
is so good. 2
So
seasons
good.
and a mini series that they did.
If anybody just needs something easy to watch that's just full of serotonin and beautiful, gorgeous, like real places in Japan, painted backgrounds, like that's your ticket. And it's just calm and nice and good, and yeah.
Molly,
So-
Mark, I thought of one more just before Kdin goes. I'm so sorry.
Please go. Please go.
Keep your hands off Isoken.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
good. If anything,
yeah.
like embodies the pure joy that comes from creating and creative
Yes.
work. It's that.
And the creative
Everybody should watch
process.
that.
And being
Yeah.
a producer.
Yeah. Making the money.
Bro,
So-
that show, I think, after being, I'm sorry, Kdin.
No, go ahead.
After being so like, I'll watch a show here, a show there, maybe only My Hero. That was a show recently that made me go, oh well, what else is out right now? Like, what else is good? What else are people talking about? Or even just what else looks good? And that ultimately is the best thing. If something has a concept that sounds good to you, just watch it, because like it's gonna like boost view count, which like maybe your view will be the one that convinces Crunchyroll to sign it for another season or
Yeah.
something like that. Is just always be supportive, always be vocal. But Isaacin, holy cow! Oh.
Keep your hands on Isoken, okay? Keep your hands
your
on it. And
eyes
keep your
on it.
eyes
Keep your
on
eyes on
Isoken.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
So, if we're talking anime, Hitomi-chan is Shy with Strangers just started coming out. The Dangers of My Heart has 2 volumes out. Very recently, Boy Meets Maria just came out, really good. Even though we're adults, also really good. Goodbye My Rose Garden, like, is breaking my heart currently. Our Teachers Are Dating is very cute. How Do We Relationship is really good. I Married My Best Friend to Shut Up My Parents is really good. Otaku Elf is pretty cute. Whisper Me a Love Song is adorable. Wotokoi is super amazing. Maiden Railways is really good. The Bride is a Boy. Please, if you're trans, please pick up The Bride is a Boy. It will hit you in all the right places. Beauty and the Beast Girl is super fantastic. I Think Our Son is Gay is so freaking cute. And so, listen, I wish I had a mom like the main character in I Think Our Son is Gay. She's super supportive, super loving, super caring. I love that. If you're looking for horror stuff but isn't super scary, then 2 manga just came out fairly recently, which is Sadako and At the End of the World. The world has ended. And 2 little girls accidentally summon Sadako, and she's just like, well, there's only so many people left. Do I actually go through with this? And then I don't have anything left to do. And then Sadako-san and Sadako-chan, which is a little girl who is supposedly the reincarnation of Sadako, summons the actual Sadako, and they bond and they become this is funny, they become YouTubers together.
Oh, let's go.
So if we're talking about manga, that's some suggestions, but coming soon, one of my favorite series of all time is getting dubbed and is coming to both America and Japan. I believe it's simultaneously. I don't know who picked it up or
Simuldub?
anything like that. It might be I think it's a simuldub. I think so. Komi-san Can't Communicate is one of my favorite series of all time. I'm so excited for it. I've probably talked about it before. Horimiya is really, really, really good. The Eccentric Family is really good. I love Bofuri. Skate Infinity is really good. Rising of Shield Hero, I'm a fan of it.
Infinity, I need to get on that.
Kuma 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 Bear is really good. Paranoia Agent is really good.
Paranoia Agent.
Stars Align is really good. Adachi and Shimamura.
How big is this shelf?
Toilet Bound Hanako-kun is really good. Kageki Shoujo is really good. Wandering Witch is really good. I don't know if there's anything that Koku Shigoto is really good. It's really good. It's really cute. I'm trying to think of some more. Everybody knows I'm a fan of Dragon Maid, so I got to put that out there as well, because Dragon Maid season 2 came out, and I finally got to see Dragon Maid season 2. I recommend the anime over the manga every time. That's just me, though.
Going along with the question, though, make sure to only listen to the first 2 suggestions.
And cuts.
No.
No, you got to do the whole thing.
You must take all the medicine.
This is your homework.
This is homework. Listen, do you know how many episodes of One Piece I'm watching for everybody? You can
0.
read a couple volumes of, well, it's more than a couple volumes. Well, you could just, listen. All right. Go.
Wow. This is gonna be a Denny's parking lot situation. Very
I will
quickly.
fight everybody in the Denny's parking lot by recommending them so much good anime and good manga.
Bro, I could go for a Grand Sandwich. Let's go.
Oh my God. Let's go.
Ugh, that's one of those sweet midnight foods.
Oh yeah, man. Did you guys all catch all that though? Kane was spitfiring there, so I hope you were taking notes. We didn't tell you to take notes, but you should take notes.
I mean,
Or
you
just
have a
rewind.
rewind button, so yeah.
Ah, damn it.
I do?
Say that.
If you missed any of it, go back to the start of the episode, listen to it again.
Yes.
Tell all your friends.
We won't time code you.
Switching back into One Piece mode for a little bit. There's a lot. These questions can be asked again, but I think it's interesting to ask them now.
Okay.
What's one character so far you went from hating / disliking a lot to eventually loving / liking a ton? And that's from that Kaito Dan on Twitter.
Buggy for me.
Yeah. Buggy boys.
Al, we can't answer Buggy because it was
we
always
can't.
It's true. You've always loved Buggy. You've always loved him.
We're that photo at the end of The Shining, but it's all buggies.
there. It's
Oops, all Buggies. It's just an Oops All Berries box, but it's Buggy on there, and it says Oops All Buggies, and it's just the Buggy balls.
and it's the oops face with the marine hat.
Oops.
Hey, cool. We have another shirt. Went from hating disliking a lot. That I think that's a difficult question for. Well, it's I say for us who are watching the show longer. But I think a lot of the stuff in Skypiea, going back and seeing like some of the area specific characters there was like less of a hating and more of just sort of an ambivalence and understanding where they land in the story at large at this point made me appreciate them a lot more. But other than that, I don't know if there's a character that, well, I mean, we've talked about the characters that we don't like on the show, and like even some of the villains are written in a way where you still like, you don't like them, but you know you don't like them, so you like that you don't like them, and it's just an endless cycle of that sort of thing.
I mean,
But
you're happy when they show up, but you're like, oh, that guy.
Because they're about to get beat up.
This guy. Oh, and I will say, Boa Hancock. I feel like when I originally was reading, I just like rereading this year. I feel like I previously had all these hangups about her, and then actually like rereading and then hearing Kdin's point of view about her, I was like, you know what? She's actually less much than I remember her being. I just like looking back now, I know it's more of like my distaste for the male gaze that the animators draw her in. But like as an actual character, like she's great.
She's amazing. I love her very much. I love
Your
her very
wife.
much. No, big mood.
Big mood.
Big move.
Big mood.
Your
Big
mood.
Smoker.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a good one.
when he showed up, I thought he was kind of like a whatever.
cop.
He was just kind of like a whatever kind of dude. Like even like as a cop, he's just like, I didn't think he added anything like unique or anything to it. He was just kind of like a jerk, and I was just like, all right, whatever. You're just kind of a jerk, but. And I love this because I'm the last one to go here. It has.
Are you?
No, I'm not. Dang it. Okay, doesn't matter. But anyway, a lot of why I actually turned around on Smoker was because of stuff that happens soon. Oh.
Stuff that we haven't talked about on the show, but stuff that you've seen.
Yes.
Secrets.
Okay. Al, is there anybody for you?
I didn't like Garp at first. Yeah.
Molly's mad.
Wait, Garp, when we knew he was Garp, or Garp as the dog-faced Brandon Marine?
Narratively, he was designed to be disliked, and then you started to like him. But I was also like, this dirtbag left. Like, there's lots of stuff that's... I'm just like, this guy. But I like him now. I guess is the main point.
Who do you think you would get along with the most from the Straw Hat crew? Not who do you want to get along with the most, but who do you honestly think you would get along with the most?
Nico Robin.
Can I propose an additional question to that? Who you think you'll get along with, and then can we have everybody say who they think that they would like?
Oh, dude.
I think who I think Kdin would get along with. Like,
Yeah, I think that's fun.
okay.
Nico Robin.
I feel like Kdin would get like really get along with Shaggy.
Yeah.
This
I
from the
probably
Straw
would.
Hat crew?
Is it only Straw Hat?
I think like any character. I think
Sauerkraut?
that's fine.
Well, that limits us to about 1,000 characters.
Oh, is that all?
But no, only 500. I'm only halfway through.
Oh, jeez.
500 episode characters.
I think there's a character that Kdin hasn't met yet that would. I think there's a lot of camaraderie there. That I would want to see the fan art of the two of them just like planning something. Of just to see them on screen together. I think would be rad as hell.
I can't even think of who this is, so I am
Good.
also interested.
I don't even know who I'm talking about.
Great.
But in terms of people she's met, Shaggy's a good pick. But I would also say Nami from the Straw Hat crew would be yeah. Al, who do you think?
I'd probably have to go with my cyborg namesake Frankie because we would nerd out about things and how they're put together. He's a Lego kid. I'm a Lego kid.
Well, he's literally a Lego kid.
He's literally a Lego kid, yeah.
Lego man. Let go of this man.
It's like whenever Frankie shows off like a new ability he has, I'm with Luffy and Chopper and Usopp with shiny eyes. Like, whoa!
In that regard, I think you and Chopper would get along really well because like that energy of just like, I can imagine you just drawing something and be like, that's a cool weird thing I just drew. And then Chopper's just like, wow, that's a cool weird thing you just drew. It's like, thank you for giving me the serotonin. You and I are best friends now. What would you like me to draw? Young, energetic, dear child.
I will die for you.
I think Al and Chopper would get along real well.
Yeah.
I agree with
think
that too.
100%.
Yeah. Then that boy group with like Usopp, Chopper, Frankie for sure.
Mark and Usopp, I feel that. I feel Mark and Usopp just kind of be like, well, yeah, no, this is a good plan. This is a good plan. I think
I've also had a lot of people call me like an old soul, so I feel like that, like not just saying it because he's a bit my namesake too, but I think Brooke and I would get along because people can consider me as such, but on like a very pure way.
Theater kids.
Usopp and I have too much in common.
That's awesome. I feel like Luffy, right? But it's like, I feel like if we're too similar, I feel like I do get really annoyed with myself, though. So I feel like, I don't know.
And then he would yell at you for being annoyed at yourself, and then you would yell at him for being annoyed with himself. And it would just get really loud.
That's the thing with Luffy, though. Like, he would yell back, but he wouldn't take it personally. I don't know. Maybe we would be, like, two peas in a pod. I don't know. But probably...
You'd be yelling, and it would sound like angry yelling, but it's actually positive reinforcement, is what I picture happening.
I love you! I love you so much!
I actually think Molly would get along with... I think Molly deceptively would probably also get along with Nico Robin very well because it's the dichotomy of just like, I am going to let you go off on rails. I'm just going to let you go do your thing, but I'm never going to let you go too far that you're going to put yourself into a situation that wouldn't be, good for you. It's like it's the grounding of it all that I think Molly would get along with because it's like
that's how Molly finds herself in a Davy back fight.
Yeah. look.
like,
again, Robin's just like, look, it's not canon. Everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it.
It's the me asking Nico Robin politely if she'll hold my brain cell while I go on the roller coaster, and she
Have
just
fun,
watches
sweetie.
me have a good time.
You put nothing in her hand. Okay, go have fun.
I'm like, just watch me. Yeah, I feel like the non Straw Hat, the answer is pretty obvious. Well,
Foxy?
I can't say one yet, but I feel like I would want to hang out with Ace.
Rayleigh.
Well, no, I don't think I can handle that.
I think you and Rayleigh would
Quote
get along
unquote
because
hang out.
Rayleigh is another one of those characters that's just like, no, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go wild. But I'm
No,
not
I
gonna
don't
let
like
you
that.
go too wild.
Mama's just gonna stare at you from the other side of the bar.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. No, Rayleigh's one of those characters that, like, I think I would just get too sweaty in real life. Like, it makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to be around him. But like Nico Robin, I
Like
feel like
Stan
I'm
Pines?
safety. Listen, shut up. Shut the fuck up. God, I'm immediately thinking back to when I played with Mark, and it was just like, where are we going, Mr. Pines? Nice night for a drive.
I'll go get you a new pack of cigarettes, Mr. Pines.
Oh my god.
Sure, it's sweaty,
no.
Molly.
Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up! I want
just
him to
wanted
like me.
I just want to like me, you guys. Shut up. No, I feel like I would be too nervous to be around Rayleigh, and I feel like there's a difference between seeing him be a creepy old man on characters that aren't real versus somebody trying to like be kind of lecherous to me in real life. I feel like that would be a 360, but I'd feel safe
A
with Robin.
180?
180. I
What?
think.
A 360 and we're back here again.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go anywhere. I'm scared.
It's like,
Going around in circles. Where's Robin? She's got my brain cell.
I'm just spinning.
What do you? Anybody? I'm just spinning. Anybody come to mind for me, Mark?
I think in a extremely platonic way, I think you just want to hear Garp talk sometimes. But I agree with Kdin about Robin, because there's just that connection that they have where they just stare at each other and they completely understand each other in one way or another for some reason. And I think Robin would just be like, "Oh, I'm holding her brain cell."
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry. This isn't canonical. It's all right. You go have fun. Don't worry.
Puts on the lifeguard whistle.
Here's your elbow pads. I know you're gonna I fell and scraped my elbow. I knew it.
That's why I brought the Band-Aids. I feel like I'd have good conversation with Robin, and I could kick my feet, and she would say nothing.
She's a good listener.
Smiling while reading her book.
Those are good answers, though. I like everybody's.
This is a fun question. I like that flip of the script.
The script.
Thanks, Cap.
Got it. That's what I'm here for sometimes.
Found that brain cell. Found it. Got it.
From Akamaru01, and also Dr. Harris asked this question too. Of all of the devil fruits seen so far, where Kdin is, which do you want or think that you would end up with? Or is there a power that you... Let's just stick with ones that we've seen, because we could just do balance. But is there one that you think would also work for you, as well as the character that we've seen possess it?
Man. I think we've had this conversation before, right? Like in I think our Alabasta episode, I made the claim that like I would want to have the mutt fruit, but I'd very specifically want it to be the Chihuahua iteration of it. Because I love Chihuahuas so much.
All right.
But in terms of like what we've already seen, I'm trying to think like
It's like a big Rob Lucci form of a cheetah, but since it's a Chihuahua, you get smaller.
I'm small, but I'm louder and angrier.
Human-sized head.
I didn't change in size. Bark.
What?
So just a furry.
The furry know me.
Listen, everybody's a furry. Even if you think you aren't, you actually are.
Guess what?
I'm right.
Open the door. You're a furry.
Check it out. You're a furry.
I'm trying. So like rubber fruit. Check it out. Rubber fruit. The Sakura with Robin, Chopper, Bonesman, like thunder, ice, fire,
Thunder.
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 I guess we could go over the types specifically, like Logia and Paramecium, and as far as which one of those...
Because I think like the animal transformation ones, I think those ones are too easy, because like, what's his name? Drake is like a T-Rex or some crap, and it's like, yeah, I want to be a T-Rex, or like whatever. So, but other than that, like there's also some stuff that only would work specifically like in the One Piece world. I don't see anybody using Capone Beige's thing in real life.
No,
Yo,
then
come on.
then I could bring all my friends to Denny's.
You could...
Think about that. I could be the Denny's.
Oh god.
Denny no me.
Denny no me.
The fruit looks like a stack of pancakes.
Like in terms of like OP devil fruit, like Ivas would be really cool just in terms of like what they can do.
Yeah, Eva's is definitely
That's pretty OP. Or like Inazuma, that'd be pretty cool.
Inazuma's
like
is
scissors.
really cool.
Just slice some stuff up because why not?
Being able to turn into light is a pretty badass power.
It is really cool, but the question isn't what you'd want. It was what you think you'd have.
What do we deserve?
What do you think you'd have? Like, what do you think would suit you? I mean,
Would the Buggy Boys both somehow get buggies?
I think I would
chop.
sneeze and noodles would fire out of my nose.
Oh no,
That's
that
my
guy.
luck.
Oh my god, incredible.
And I wouldn't. I just accidentally took a bite of that fruit, and that's my life from there on out. I don't work on my powers or anything. It's just
noodles.
there's dinner.
That's all it takes.
The noodle sneeze fruit.
All
Just
it takes
the
is
worst.
one lick, and you curse for life.
Does it?
Does it?
Does it?
I
Mom,
think
did you
it?
spoil something?
I think going with the obvious one, like, yeah, I feel like, yeah, the obvious one for me would probably be the Horo Horo no Mi, which would be Ivankov's. That's kind of like the, the low-hanging devil fruit, so to speak. It kind of makes sense, so on and so forth. But what I probably think I'd end up with is probably Meru Meru no Mi, which was Hancock's. Yeah, it's one of those things that's like, I really would not like having her devil fruit, but that would probably be my luck of just being just like, yeah, and I'd probably use it like she does too, just like very passive aggressively and kind of like agitated in a way.
Hence, big mood.
Yeah, hence big mood. I'd probably end up with the Meru Meru no Mi. If I could get to choose, I'd probably choose the Horo Horo no Mi, but that's my choice. Anybody gonna choose Brooks so that when you die you come back to life?
God, no.
Yeah.
You're not gonna turn into a skeleton. You're not gonna turn into
You
a
just
skeleton.
have to remember where your body is.
You just gotta remember where your body is. His body was in the Bermuda frickin' Triangle. You couldn't
Don't
find
go
it.
there. Don't go towards that
Don't
shadowy
go
place
there.
ever.
So when you're about to get isekai'd, you come back to life. It's like, wow, I could have ended up in another world, but instead, I am a bonesman.
We're so close. Our next episode, there's all of these new characters and all these new fruits that I feel like I would love.
They asked where Kdin is episode-wise, not where we are episode-wise.
Yeah, but listeners are listening in order, so I just don't. It's fine though. But I would want a certain person's fruit, but I feel like what I would get, what I deserve, I would get the ice fruit from Okuji. Aokiji? Aokiji. Just because how many times have I gotten on a call with you guys and I'm like, it's chewy. It's so chewy. I'm chewy. I feel like that would be my comeuppance for every time I've said that. I would get
You say that, but threateningly.
I'm chewy. Ice baby.
I'm looking at some of the fruit designs of things, and there's one that's really unsettling.
Yeah.
Do you know how much it sucks that I have to remember half this shit from the top of my head because I can't Google nothing? It sucks.
Yeah.
This blows, all right? I just want you to know how difficult that is.
I just went from arc in my head, and it took me a long time to like go through all the devil fruits we've seen so far.
Yeah, like I don't. In terms of one that I would want, I don't know, man. I maybe arguably the Baku Baku no Mi, which was Wapple's fruit, but I mean,
Sorry, you didn't need the sound effects for that.
I love that that's the one who's like, the one I would like, I want to be able to eat stuff and then turn into it. I'm going to eat this car. I'm a car now.
yeah, why not?
You wouldn't eat a car, would you?
Wait,
certainly
I'm going
would.
to eat these two people? Now they're one person.
Whoa.
But in terms of like one that I would think I would get as like a comeuppance, I would probably get one of the like goopy ones, like
Goopy?
like the Dodo no Mi, the wax fruit, or like the swamp fruit. Like one of the really gross ones that would really just make me uncomfortable would probably be
honestly,
my luck.
I do think Dodo no Mi suits you. Unfortunately, it kind of.
In that same vein, can I open up to the movies we've watched? Are there any devil fruit in the movie you
No,
feel
that
like?
shit doesn't count.
All right. Great.
Definitely not the mochi mochi, no, like not the candy, not the any of that
Goopy.
stuff. Yeah, none of that goopy stuff.
None of that goopy stuff.
None of the goo.
Don't
No.
like it.
Gotta get in that
No.
goopy.
Al, did you say?
Yeah,
What?
Yeah.
I sneeze
Hello?
noodles.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sneezing.
You went
That's the
first.
one I think I deserve. Anyway.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Or like some of our luck would be like we would eat the human fruit and nothing would happen.
You're more human than ever.
Hey, do you know what? You're a human. You know what? Now you're even more of a human than you were
You
before.
just immediately become the center of the bell curve.
I'm trying to think, are there any devil fruits like so far? I don't even know if like in general, are there any like verbal devil fruit? Because I feel like Al has that hidden talent of talking while I'm not paying attention and says this killer joke. And I'm like, is there a way to weaponize that?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's only one that I can think of that actually weaponizes their words, but it's only in tandem with the devil fruit, and that's the Mane Mane no Mi, and that's Vanchan.
Maybe if I'm getting my wires crossed with the manga kid from My Hero, but
Oh,
Yes.
I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
imagine.
Onomatopoeia power.
Oh, so good.
So cool.
If there's some
That said,
sort of
that would
devil fruit.
100% be. If we're talking My Hero, that's Al.
Yeah.
What do you Onomana fruit?
Anamana.
Pia Pia no Mi.
Listen. I just want before we get too far away from that.
No.
The character's name that you're thinking of, by the way, is Manga Fukudashi.
Yeah.
Ooh, Fukudashi.
Literally, his name is Manga Fukudashi. I don't know if you've seen the parts where they showed his hero costume. But
He's an ink bottle.
It's an
Yeah.
ink bottle with like the little eraser feet, and it's
They're
really
so
funny.
cool.
His like casual like look. He just like says words. Is like his head like shrinks a little bit, and he just says the words he's thinking on his face.
It's
like
more disturbing to look at him, look at his just regular school outfit, because it's just a voice bubble on a person.
Yeah.
It's the normal human arms and a voice bubble coming out of a dark void where his torso should be.
I just like imagine though we're out in the field and Al says something and I go, "What'd you say?" But I'm already getting punched by it in the face.
yeah.
I didn't hear it. Pfft.
Well, now you're
Anyway.
feeling it.
But you saw it.
The last One Piece question that we have, because then we just have a couple of general Halloween questions, is if you could have a One Piece game made in any genre or style, and you had total control, what would it be?
Oh.
So,
That's a good question.
because we have the Musou games, there's a couple of mobile games. There's some good stuff out there. I think Arena Fighter is a little bit too easy because each of the like Warriors games has that mode. But then there's also the adventure game. What was it? World Seeker that came out for the PS4 a couple years ago. There are some weird options.
What's our budget?
If like I could have
Full control.
anything in a game, I would just straight up say like a Breath of the Wild One Piece. Like give me open world, like let me be Luffy, but it's like let me be Luffy when One Piece is done and it's like everything is in there. So it's like
that's gonna happen.
and
Like,
but it's
so
like
many
but
times.
I hope so, but it's like but you know it's like you know where he's going next, right? You know his first step in the journey, but you can still run around the entire island. You know what I mean? It's like you can like you don't have to. It's like it's open world, so you know the objective, but you're still like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna jump in a boat and go over here. What's over here? Oh, this is cool. This is cool. Okay, I'm gonna go over here now. Like I want to be able to do whatever, but like open worlds in One Piece. I would love that.
World Seeker's kind of like that, but it's on a new island as opposed to just like going back through all of the stuff that you played. But you still get those interactions with all of those characters. So World Seeker with better controls. It's rough, fam. I tried just a little bit and I was like, ooh, I wonder if I could play this whole game actually. Does anybody else have any ideas?
I do.
Go ahead,
But
Kdin.
I'll let Al go first.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
It's me. You'd need a big budget. But basically a sandbox game where you get to make your own One Piece character and you get to decide the upgrade tree of your devil fruit.
Oh.
And so, you know how Luffy slowly grows his powers by applying different things to those different, punches that he has. It's like whatever your devil... it would have to be a large selection of devil fruit and then little ways to modify it in your upgrade tree. And then you're going through this, Red Dead Redemption-sized archipelago or whatever. Slowly becoming not quite the Pirate King, but, a pretty good pirate.
Damn.
I'd want that.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty flippin' rad.
I got one.
Yeah.
Yo?
So if we're talking stuff that could be potentially canonical, potentially non-canonical, blah, blah, blah,
Whatever you
let's say something ship ends up on an island and the crew is immediately pushed out and they're removed from each other. And might be similar to something that actually happens in the series. It might not. We don't know. I would love a game that told stories from the perspectives of Usopp and Nami and Chopper and Zoro and Sanji and
One Piece ODST.
And it's you have all these stories about where where each of the Straw Hats end up on this island and their connection to the people of whatever area they land in. And then they're all kind of traveling around and meeting up with each other and, re-meeting with each other. And your choices as Luffy, because that's probably where you'd start the game, is you'd have to start with Luffy. Your choices as Luffy determine who you end up meeting up with first. And when you meet them, it goes back and tells their part of the story, a la Octopath Traveler.
Oh, yeah.
So
There's something kind of
you can get that
funny
whole
about that,
story.
though.
You can get that whole story of it's hey, what have you been up to, Nami? And then it's it flashes back to where Nami landed up, how she ended up to where she is, and how she met up with Luffy as Luffy gets to that point. So it's so she explains it as if she's telling the story of how she got there to meeting him. And then that just keeps happening all along. And where you go first determines how long a particular character's story goes on for. So the replayability is there. It's you go to Nami first, she does less there. And, but if you save Nami for last, she experiences a lot more. Maybe she's a lot more connected to the people.
They each have a full storyline.
Right. They each have their own little full storyline. So the longer you wait to pick up that particular character or go in that direction, the more is added to their story to that point.
I've never played Octo Traveler before. Just real quick, curious. When you play as different people, are they is there anybody who's let's say an unreliable narrator? If you're playing as Luffy and
Not
someone's
really.
talking to you,
Not
are
really.
you playing as Luffy where you're someone's starts talking and then the text starts disappearing and it's
Nah.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know what I have to do.
No, but if you are looking for something along those lines, then I recommend everybody pick up the first Bravely Default. And I will say not a single word more about it. Have fun with that one, everybody.
So while we were talking, I got a couple of ideas. My first one was Luffy trying to escape Impel Down, but it's an isometric dungeon crawler like Hades. Because
That's
I've been
cool.
obsessed with Hades.
Yeah.
And instead of the different boons, you collect the different pirate captains that you collect, that Luffy collects in the prison, but in a randomized order, and so each run is different, blah, 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 blah. But Kdin, you gave me an idea of a canon... So imagine the flashbacks of the... I'll just put it like this. Of the 2 years, and you play as each Straw Hat.
Yeah.
And you play that whole story extended, but not just the scenes that we see in the manga or on the show, but you play maybe 4 to 5 hour, maybe 6 hour campaigns of what they do to level them up, so you can then feel empowered as a viewer that you helped the crew get to a new level that you hadn't before.
Oh, so you're saying part of the ship, part of the crew?
Sort of, essentially. But now after y'all talking about unreliable narrators, I want a One Piece game from Usopp's point of view where everything is wrong. Absolutely everything. And he's like, yeah, that sounds so fun to me. Like, I don't know if it would wear thin like the Usopp universe filler episodes that happen every now and again, and I love those, but I don't know if an entire like 50-60 hour experience would wear too thin on me. But cool, all of these games are going to get made. Great.
All right.
Like, when Al said ODST, I'm like, what if it was like ODST for our friend the Sniper King? Like, just like give me some type of campaign with.
It's a first person Soga King story.
Yeah, give me something.
That Molly,
OFSK.
That's
Oh my god.
FFS. That would be like no hyperbole, really awesome, and I would 100% that game. That's
yeah.
We
awesome.
talking about that Hyperbole? Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude! If it's all the cereal,
Everybody loves the Super Bowl, but nobody talks about that Hyperbole.
that hyperbole.
What about that superb owl?
The Superb Owl? Love that Superb Owl.
Our last two questions have nothing to do with One Piece, but 'tis the spooky season. So from Pink Wispy on Twitter, one, what's your favorite Halloween memory?
My favorite Halloween memory.
You wanted the Halloween question.
I did want the Halloween questions. I just didn't think about like favorite Halloween memory. Favorite Halloween memory?
Can I hit you with my least favorite Halloween memory, and then it'll spark inspiration for what your favorite is?
Sure.
I went as my mom commissioned somebody on like Yahoo, or not Yahoo, eBay,
Yahoo!
to make me a Sailor Saturn costume when I was like maybe 11 or 12. And you realize now, I guess I realized in that moment how impractical and fake the animation was in terms of how short those skirts were and how they like specifically defy gravity in the show. Yeah, it was a really cool costume, but I had so many people telling me my underwear was showing, but it was just like the style of it's the skirt, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Jesus. That is the worst.
It's the worst, but still, like, I mean, like, I was the only kid on the block who had a custom-made Sailor Moon.
They were all jealous, is what you're saying.
Yeah, man. Yeah. My very specific anime reference that none of them got. They were so jealous. But I felt cool. Looking back now, I'm like, that's like, who else can say that? That's still pretty cool.
Yeah, you're right.
You right.
I'd say probably like a favorite Halloween memory for me would be all of the ridiculously adorable couples costumes that my wife and I have done over the years.
You
But
guys so cute.
then also being the person to take my younger cousins trick-or-treating for the first time.
Aww.
Because then it's like that adorable thing of sharing the moment with the kids, but then also being like, I also have a bag, fill it up.
I'm here too.
I'm here too.
Love to see it.
Helping run a haunted house is probably
Ooh.
my favorite.
The devil.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I know. The thing is I don't particularly like haunted houses, but running one, wow, it's very different. It's a much different thing altogether.
Does it take the spook out of the haunted?
Oh yeah, it's much more fun to be on the side of the people like running the thing versus being. It's because I don't know. There's just a lot to it. I feel like a lot of haunted houses are kind of like they do too much, and I think you need to do less. You don't need to do that much. Like people's like there's the whole like, well, we're gonna chase people around with fake chainsaws. Like do less. Do less. You don't need to do that. You can do other things to scare people. You don't need to do that. That's way too much.
That's asking for some kind of liability lawsuit.
You're at a 20. I need you at like an 8. All right.
Me and my brother were super into Halloween growing up, and we would like not so much going out and getting candy, but just like setting up stuff in the front yard for people showing up to get candy. And not really like a haunted house or anything, but just like one gimmick for people to deal with. And like one year we went, it's a 2-part story. So that's just, I've been into Halloween for a very long time. And one of the things we did, we dressed up as like prospectors, and he would bury me with leaves and stuff. And I would be in the yard, and people would go up to him to get the candy. And then I would like either put my hand out in the path and like freak people out that way, or like get up and stand behind them for right when they turn around and they would scream and run off. Which
Peaches and gravy.
Monster.
Yeah, kind of mean. I've adjusted as I've got like recently. So year before last, I was the gravekeeper of our house, me and Callie's house. She was dressed as a witch, and I was just dressed as a gravekeeper. And we had Frankenstein makeup and like grease paint makeup, like white. And I tried to mix them together, and it looked weird. So I was like, no, I'll just stay out of sight. And I had a lantern and a shovel, and I was actually doing chores while she was giving out candy. Like I was dragging branches from the backyard into the front yard. And as I was doing that, like these kids would give our house the widest berth before going in towards the door. And then as I like brought some branches out, I'd turn and in a very dark, scary voice go, "Don't forget, large brush collection is November 2nd. And then walk to the backyard. And the parents seemed to like that. The kids like nervous laugh. What did he say?
It like when you're in a situation like that, it almost doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just here to scare children.
I just love the adults being like, haha, but also informative.
Yes.
Oh, right. We need to get on that.
Oh, thank you for...
Thanks for the information, random ghoul.
Ghoul C?
What?
What? Well, I'm gonna play when it's like not ghoul, like
Yeah,
A, B. Thank you.
Yeah, I got it. It's just not very good.
Great. Thanks.
That's sweet 8 o'clock energy.
Thanks. It's not 8 o'clock no more.
It's
Wait.
10. It's 10 for me and Al.
Molly,
It's
please look at the
8.
clock. What time is it?
8 for
It's
Mollison.
Mark, I like right when I looked at the clock, it turned 8. I'm not kidding.
You're
That was
right.
perfectly timed. That was insanely timed.
Do we have one more question?
We have one more question. What was the scariest prank someone played on you? I can lead this one. It wasn't anything in particularly like Halloween related, but I'll never forget. It was just one random day, summer break. I woke up, I opened my eyes, and right next to my head was my brother with a drum cymbal and a drumstick like raised in the air. And he saw me wake up and he went, "Oh man," and then he walked away. And I was just like, I will
Oh my
never
God.
forget that for the rest of my life. What an
Oh my
asshole.
god.
That's awesome. Oh man. What if he was just waiting for you to wake up and he's like, this will be funnier?
I fully imagine that was the situation, and that does makes it funnier and much more appreciative, but it's still like, what an asshole.
Speaking of one asshole, my older brother, just like constantly growing up would just like at the drop of a hat would prank me, which is stuff that I would recommend. Like, this is my brother and I know my brother, it's totally fine. Like people who are married, like I'm just gonna say, like husbands who are married to wives, don't do this. Don't do this.
What
There's
a
this one
great
time-
start to a story.
Yeah, well, it's just it's like out of context. You're scaring women. You're scaring women, and it's like, don't do this, please. But the way that my dad's house is set up, like to get upstairs, it's like a landing, so like the stairs are exposed.
Oh
and
no.
Yeah, so I was brushing my teeth when my brother was locking up and turning all the lights off, and I was walking to my room, which is this landing. That's kind of like it's got the railing, right, and then like you go around and then you go down the stairs. And I was calling out to my brother, and I was like, "Night, Tim, love you." And I didn't hear anything, and I'm like, his room and my room are right next to each other, so I like looked in his room, he wasn't there, and I was like, "Tim, night, good night." And like right when I was like, whatever, he's not, he didn't hear me, whatever. I turned to like go back in my room, and a hand shot out and grabbed my ankle from like the darkness, like between the railing. And I dropped to the ground immediately. And then it was like, it's just like my brother put the fear of God in me so many times growing up. And then just real quick, there was another time where he was coming home when we were both like living out of my dad's house in college. And I was staying up late waiting for him. And I heard the door unlock and open at like 1 a.m. And I was like, "Hey, Tim, welcome home." And then in his like lowest voice imaginable, he was like, "Is anybody home?" And like scared me so grievously that like our family dog jumped up and ran to the door to beat his ass. Like it was just like, because like even she didn't know it was him. And I was like, "You son of a bitch. It is like the middle of the night. Like you can't be doing this.
You gotta stop.
Don't please don't do that. Please please don't do that. It makes for a fun story, but it's like in the moment it was very scary."
Did y'all's parents ever like say your full name when you're in trouble?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So one of my birthdays, I'm just hanging out in the TV room, just watching some cartoon, and my dad kicks open the door and at the top of his lungs screams, "Albert Kirk McClellan Jr., get your shit out of my car!" And like I was so scared, and like he literally kicked the door, almost broke it, and it scared me, and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know I left anything in there." And then he opens the door and points angrily to the car, and in the back was a bicycle. Like he gave me a bike.
I forgot about the story.
So he just scared the living shit out of me, and then said, "Happy birthday."
Oh my god. That's such a dad. Like, how do I give my sweet baby boy this nice present on his birthday?
How do I give us both a present?
Oh, it'll cost him. So it's almost had a heart attack as like an 8-year-old.
Saved off years of your life.
I can feel like my muscles spasming of like jumping over the couch, running to the front door. It's like, I'm sorry. Just like,
Yeah.
whatever. I screwed
Sorry,
up.
Dad, I'm sorry. I would probably already be crying. Don't even know what I'm in trouble for, immediately crying.
So, nobody really plays pranks on me. Nobody's
They know
really
better.
nobody's
And if
ever
they
really
did,
done it.
We can't
nobody's-
ask them.
Nobody's really ever done that. However,
Uh-oh.
The person who
I-
tried is dead now.
how anybody who's attempted, well, you don't know where their bodies are. No,
Oh, no.
but however, I am notoriously is devilish the right word for it?
Are you a prankster, Kdin?
Well, not so much. I
Kdin.
just really like scaring the ever living hell out of people. So
you.
it's, say, I don't know, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, Kdin.
I'm in one room. I'm, working. I'm minding my business. I hear my partner in the bedroom, and they start watching The Twilight Zone. And it's just like, okay, it's like 3 a.m. Twilight Zone. That sounds right. Whatever. Our sleep schedules are all kinds of all over the place anyway. So they're watching it and everything like that. I'm working, and I'm just like, wait a minute. I can control the TV from my phone.
Kdin.
So what I start doing is
no.
I start muting the TV every 6 minutes. And I keep doing it every 6 minutes. Every single time. And they get freaked out by it by a little bit. And they're just like, they come in and it's like, hey, I think there's something wrong with the TV. You know, it's like it keeps muting itself, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, well, why don't you try turning it off and then turning it back on and, you know, see if it'll fix the whatever it's doing. It's like, because, you know, smart TVs are stupid and it's really dumb. And, you know, this is why you don't have smart locks. And, you know, I mean, the Scream trailer is just like, door unlocked. Door locked. It's like, yeah, I don't want my locks to be smart. I want them to be stupid. I want them to be big, giant, hulking pieces of metal that aren't smart and lock, and then a computer can't tell it to open. All right? So and my partner, if I've had that discussion a million times, is like, okay, yeah, if it's not working, then, you know, I'll just restart the TV. So they restart the TV, they turn it back on, and I leave them alone for an episode.
Kdin.
And then I start turning up the volume every
Kdin.
3 minutes. And
The
then,
mind games.
and then I just keep doing this for like 2.5 hours. And then finally they're just like, there's something really going on. It's like, what is happening? So it's like, this can't, it's like, and they're just like, they kind of stop and they're just like, if there's something here, turn off the TV. And I turn off the TV.
Oh no!
And they scream and they come. It's like, there's something haunting the house. There's something in the house. And then I hold up my phone
Kdin.
that has the little logo of the TV thing on it, and I press the power button, and we hear the TV turn on in the other room, and they look. Quinn looks at me and goes, "That was amazing. I fucking hate you. Never do that again.
We're talking to a ghost right now.
Never do that again."
Oh my god!
So I've never done that again because, I mean, now the surprise is ruined. But hey, if you're ever looking to punk somebody incredibly harmlessly, try and take control of your TV with your phone and mess with the volume a little bit. It's kind of fun.
Kdin could kill me. You guys know how gullible I am. Kdin could absolutely end my career and my life in 5 minutes while, like, not even leaving her desk.
No.
Just moves the volume knob once with the phone. Ah!
Oh my god.
I like how Molly's story was like, "Hey, don't do this," and Caden's story was,
Do this. Do it.
Listen, everybody, listen.
Ultimate power.
If you follow me on Twitter, if you watch my Twitch streams, if you follow my Tumblr, if you know anything about me, anything at all, you cause problems intentionally. That's what she's saying.
True.
That's
With
the whole.
style.
That's that. Listen. You don't be mean about it, but you cause problems intentionally. Like, if you're gonna cause a problem, it better be on purpose. All right, honey. That's the way to go about life. If you're gonna cause a little bit of a ruckus, then do it with a little bit of intention. Because if you do it accidentally, then it's you know, like, you've made a mistake and you feel bad about it. But look, if you're causing a little bit of harmless problems intentionally, then, you know, what's the problem with that? Nothing. There's no issue with that.
Untitled Kdin game.
To be fair, Kdin was playing mind games. My brother straight up grabbed my ankle, and that's not okay. That's terrifying.
Listen, that's invading somebody's personal space. That's absolutely. Listen, don't touch anybody who doesn't want to be touched. Don't do anything. Listen, however, you can mess with somebody. And the thing is you have to mess with them within their personal boundaries. You have to mess with them in a way that's like,
"This is the important part."
You need to know what their limits are and never cross that. You never cross that limit because that's fucked up. That's wrong, and you don't do that. Again, the whole chainsaw thing. It's like people running around chasing people with chainsaws. Too much. You're at a 20. I need you at an 8. You never hit a 10 with somebody. You never prank somebody at a 10, and you never go beyond that. You can hit an 8. Because Quinn is terrified of ghosts. And
yeah,
that was
I was
definitely an 8. Listen, that was definitely an 8. But the thing is they came in, they saw it, they immediately felt relieved, and they're just like, "Oh, okay, it was okay, asshole."
When Quinn came in to tell you that they thought the bedroom was haunted, if you didn't own up there, it would have been a problem.
Right, exactly. You gotta know when to stop. There needs to be, you need to understand boundaries, and boundaries are important, and you need to never cross those boundaries, and you need to know when to, forgiving the pun, give up the ghost, okay?
There it is.
I'm giving up the ghost.
Spook.
It was me, Dio.
Daniel Fantoni.
Daniel Fantoni.
He's got to catch them all because he's a Pokemon master, Danny Fantoni.
That's going to be my protagonist in the Pearl remake. Thank you, everybody who sent in questions. This is a whole lot of fun. We ended up going a full episode length.
Can you believe?
I hate them.
Absolutely can't. You know what I hate? Editing this. No, I'm kidding. This is going to be fun. This is going to be...
No.
Listen, we were pretty good this episode.
There were so many cusses. And
I only did twice.
there's a fair amount of cusses. I remember I
That's
did
not
a
my
cuss.
fault.
No, I agree.
Yeah, Molly, geez.
Molly,
Yeah,
Come on, Molly.
keep it up.
I'm so tired right now. I realized that like
for
we're
you, Molly.
no, I know, but it's like I realized that
Molly,
like
come on.
because we're not talking about like One Piece specifically, like the specifically where we are in the arc. That I'm like, yeah, I'm just having a fun time playing Uno with my friends. I can swear. So there might be a couple in there for me. Sorry. Sorry.
Salt and pepper on your sentences.
Future Mark, censor this.
Censor that.
Speaking
Censor
of which, make sure you follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Yayo Talk Show. We stream games. Molly and I, we did Minecraft Dungeons last week. That was fun. We've got, there's some games that we want to play, some games that we gotta play, and we want you to be there with us for the ride. That we've got some really stupid emotes that are just the absolute best. I like Molly, Al, you guys really like outdid yourself with Foxy, with Bug Champ.
That Foxy came out of nowhere and like like what a fun emote.
Happened naturally.
And we're pretty close to a next emote drop. I think we need like less than 10, almost 5 to 10 subscribers. So drop us a follow at the very least if you can. And make sure to stay tuned for random nights where we might just go, hey, you want to stream? Yeah, let's stream.
Hey, we're gonna do that. That's why you gotta follow. All right.
You gotta follow.
Follow where?
At twitch.tv/Yayo Talk Show. Kdin, where can the fine folks find you on the interweb?
So you can find me pretty much everywhere. Twitter, it's KDINJENZEN. On Tumblr, it's KDINJENZEN. On Twitch, it's KDINJENZEN. And in fact, on Twitch, I've been streaming a lot more. And I'm going for partner. I'm
Nice.
pretty
Hell yeah.
close. I'm pretty close. So if you're out there, I could definitely use some additional help. I'm trying to get that partner. I'm on the edge every month. This is like I'm so close and I miss it just a little bit. So I'm getting closer and getting closer. So I'm trying to get that partner up there. But of course, you can also find me. Hey, Instagram if you want selfies because that's where I post them. I have a TikTok. I made a TikTok.
Ooh.
I have a
Wow.
TikTok. I don't listen.
Zoomer.
Here's the thing. Somebody took my name on TikTok. It was
what?
really disappointing. Yes. So if you want to find me on TikTok, it's real REAL KDINJENZEN. That's real Kdin Jensen on TikTok. I have one TikTok video, exactly one. So if you'd like to follow me on TikTok, go ahead and do that. Or Rooster Teeth website. No, I'm just Kdin there.
How about you, Al?
You can find me at Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at Al McClellan Jr. ALMCCLELLANDJR. Good luck with that. You have a rewind button.
I like no nonsense Al, just like you didn't hear it, rewind it.
I will never say it again.
Go back and
Good
watch
luck.
the entire episode again, and then you hear it again.
Give us 3 whole views for rewinding. That'd be nice.
And you can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at Mark B. Donica. Make sure to follow us on Twitter as a show at Yayo Talk Show as well. How about you, Cap?
Well, I was just like, this is it. We're gonna end it. I said nothing. I was like, I'm gonna let it happen. No, I'm on Twitter. Teflod TEHFLOD. Thanks. I'm also on Tumblr, Molly Flood at Molly K Flood. We have a Yayo Talk Show Tumblr, so if you want to watch or look at some like One Piece memes and One Piece fan art, give us a follow there too.
Well, going along with how most filler arcs in One Piece happen, we're going to end abruptly.
Talking about
One Piece.